Gundam.tk presents Berga Giros. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs GundamReviews.net, and today I'm happy to bring you my review of the 1/100th non-grade Berga Giros, or Berga Giros from the movie Gundam F91. It's a beat-up old box, but hopefully suitable for F91. You can make out that it came out in 1991, and it sold and sells for 1,000 yen today. This is number 6 in the non-grade F91 lineup for 1/100th size, and there you can see it, and of course it's made by Bandai. There's a fair number of kits to choose from this movie, with a combination of good guys and bad guys that began coming out in 1990. Before April 91, the heavy gun was the last, and there was also a 1/60th F91 that you could add to your collection. When I was looking for a representative for the bad guys in F91, of course Zabine Charles certainly came to mind, the pilot. He was in the movie F91 and becomes even more famous for his turn as the pilot of the Crossbone X2, which you can see my custom paint job there and its review online, from Crossbone Gundam the manga. But of course the Berga Giros certainly got a lot more play once it showed up in Gundam Extreme Versus as a 1,000 point enemy for the F91. You can imagine that as a 1991 kit there's going to be some old school technology used in there, but when it's painted by a pro, it's actually looking pretty good. You can see that the pipes are going to hang off the shoulders. That's going to be very noticeable. The black and purple, and it's got decals all over the place. So we'll see how many of those actually get put on. Here they're going to talk about the XM05. They have quite a few from the Crossbone Vanguard, the bad guy group that Seabrook had to fight. Here you can see it on the back. It's got some missiles on there, which are all looking pretty impressive. Some nice purple trim at the bottom. And down there they're advertising that yes, it comes with the clear parts for the shield, which is going to be almost as large as the body, it looks like, from this angle. To the other side, where they're going to advertise that the camera eyes are made out of clear parts, and I wonder if that extends up to the top or if it's just for the eyes. Either way, that's pretty cool. They mentioned that you can move the nozzles on the back, so if you want to have some mobility. And you can see that those missiles/wings back there are also going to move in and out. The Shot Lancer, which is the most noticeable weapon for the X2 and for the Berga Giros, as well as a lot of Crossbone Vanguard ones. Here it's going to have a slide part. It looks pretty cheesy out there, but still better to have that playability option. Inside the box, you're going to get the manual, 4 big plates, some polycaps, 2 small clear color plates, and some seals. Now, old Bandai kits are pretty weird for one thing, just because what plate is this? Well, I can't tell you because it doesn't have a letter on it like new ones with their A plates. Instead, all of the numbers are just cumulative, so this one is like number 1 to 16, and then the last one's going to have the parts up to 60. And anyway, you can see here that this plate was just cut off in the middle of this one, and you're going to get the parts for the legs and the feet, and you'll see that the head here is just done in 2 colors, and it's just 2 halves that you're going to smush together. No purple to be seen. The other side is going to have the chest and the back waist armor just all there. Again, just 2 big parts. You are going to have an additional part there for the face, and there's some missing part for the eyes. For these parts, you'll really notice on the box that they have some nice purple trim down below. They do give you good lines there, so if you want to go ahead and paint them, you'd have no problem doing that. But there don't look to be any seals to do that, so you're going to have to do it yourself, or just hope that they're hidden enough in the back that nobody notices that you didn't put in the extra effort required. I'm just going to call this the C plate, but what you have here is the parts for the forearms, some really interesting things, including the Crossbone Vanguard. They have their marks here, and they're actually etched into the plastic, which is sort of cool. If you wanted to go ahead and paint that, you could do some good work there. And I had to borrow a few parts to make some weapons up earlier. The D plate, if you want to call it that, is the first unique color, and you can see that this light purple is very different from the dark or the navy blue or whatever you want to call it. But in terms of parts, I gotta say it's a little bit disappointing. You've got 2 big parts there for the knees, which are going to look really good, I'm sure, along with a neck connector. But otherwise, you're going to have some hands, some small connecting pieces, a little bit of piping, and some thrusters. So when you look at the box and you see all this nice light purple all over the body, you're not going to get it except for 1, 2, 3, and the hands. Very disappointing. On the plus side, though, in terms of disappointments, I suppose, is that these light purple ones are going to look good. They provide not the V-fins, but the wings on the side of the helmet. The only thing, they should be a nice bright yellow. So at least they're going to be purple instead of blue, so that's a bit of a plus, but you're going to have to put some effort into that, again, if you wanted to make anything near what it should from the anime. Call it an E-plate or call it polycaps, whatever you'd like, but it's not numbered here. It's actually lettered A and on. And it says 1/100th Berga Giros, so this wasn't used on any other kits unless they just chopped it off down there. You're going to have some very familiar looking connectors down here, but then you're going to have these gray pipes And if you can make out my fingernails going over them, you can actually hear that they've got some ribbing on there. So if you wanted to go ahead and add some lining, I suppose you could, but they look awfully close, and I'll probably just leave them just the way they are there. And a plate like this was probably a big deal back in the year F91. It's custom here, Berga Giros, and it's going to be an orangey red, whatever you want to call that in terms of color, but it's a huge thing. You can see that it's as big as the polycaps, and it may actually be as large as the mobile suit itself. So the head is made up of the face part, the two sides, and the two wings, and this actual sixth part is going to provide the eyes. Again, it's custom to this kit, and as I look at the box, it really is blue eyes that he's supposed to have, so it's sort of cool that they're made out of this transparent blue. You may want to, if you really want to pro this up though, put some paint in the middle there just to separate it so that it doesn't look like a very wide mono eye. Here are the parts for the Shot Lancer, which I borrowed from my Master Grade X2. You're going to have these parts that are just going to hold it in the hand and attach together. You have this part, which is going to provide the thing which actually extends this purple end. If you take a look, this is supposed to be gray, and there's supposed to be a couple different colors in here, but at least they are going to break up the monotony, and this purple will be one of the more noticeable aspects actually made out of plastic on this whole kit. The seals are encouraging in the fact that you've got them, and it's better than having an all blue body, but they're also discouraging because there's a whole purple plate, and could not some of these parts been made out of plastic instead of paper? Anyway, this part is going to go below the belly, I suppose, or on the belly. These two parts are going to go on the vents on the chest. These parts are going to go on the forearms, and these ones on the legs, I believe, on the knees. So again, it would be so much better if they were in purple because it looks like it's going to be a good match here as I pull out the plate. In terms of the color, it's just they only went to the trouble to mold these three major parts, and there could have been just a few more. The Crossbone Vanguard stickers are looking pretty sharp up here though, and you're going to get a couple more down here on this one. These ones that you can see that there's perforations around them ever so slightly, but you can't actually peel this up. So I'd have to look into how you're actually going to apply these. But anyway, I don't think I'm actually going to bother, although they would break up the monotony of what looks to be perhaps a very dull dual color suit. Very old school cover art there, and it's really not going to catch the eye all that much as you've got the name on there. Before opening this up, this is going to be a very small manual in terms of size and the number of pages. Inside, you're going to have some nice line art from the anime, and it's looking really good in its Black Vanguard colors. And there you can see the commander of the Black Vanguard, Zabine Charles, before he got his long hair from Crossbone Gundam. It's also going to talk about the shelf nozzles, which are going to give it similar to the way the Crossbone Gundams get extra propellant, just because they have those movable thrusters that can adapt to Jupiter's atmosphere and things like that. This guy also is very agile because those are supposed to be able to move all over the place. Over here you can see the other weapons and armaments. You're going to have the beam shield there. The Shot Lancer is looking pretty sharp down there. And then it's going to talk about the head sensors and the yellow commander fins. And down here, this is something that's sort of cool, but they're actually going to show a comparison of some of the other mobile suits from F91 for height. You can also see here that it's got a head height of 15.7 meters, which, keeping with the whole F91 Victory Gundam Crossbone theme, means that you're going to have small mobile suits for everybody, good guys and bad. Inside, you can see the plates there. There's the 5 main ones to go along with the beam shield. Over here, you can just see how much white there is on this manual because it's really not going to be hard to put together. You can see that you put the left and right legs together there. Then after building the chest, you've got the arms there, which combined with the head, you can put the body together already along with the shelf nozzle and the Shot Lancer and shield. On the back page, you're going to have a painting guide, which is also going to show you where to put on the large amount of decals. This guy really does have a lot of them. You can see those letters all over the place. They're also going to talk about the main colors. The main one is Midnight Blue, which is pretty much black in Gundam terms. Purple with a little bit of white if you want to add that secondary color. And down here, it's also going to tell you the way to put on the water slide decals if you so choose. So the Unbox is looking okay, but you really do feel the age of the kit just with the quality of the plastic and the way that there are little flakes hanging off the sides of the pieces like that. Also, you can see that there are going to need a lot of decals if you want to bring out this full color, or of course you can just go and add some paint. But anyway, I look forward to putting it together, so stay tuned for the next part where you can see all the parts in details, and then of course you can see the mobile suit and lined up next to a few appropriate enemies. Anyway everybody, Robert184 Gundam.tk, thanks for watching, see you next part, bye.